Hello, everyone. I am your host, Stack Banks. You are now tuned in to the most powerful financial podcast in the world, The Millionaire Millennial. And today I just want to take a moment and talk to you guys about what's going on in crypto a little bit with Binance and CZ or Chenpeng Zhao, I believe his last name is. But CZ used to be the founder and CEO of Binance, the largest crypto exchange in the world. He was just sentenced to 4 months in prison and a $50 million fine, which, considering his net worth, he's more than capable of paying. But I just wanted to talk to you guys about this for a second because we did actually talk about it on not the last episode, but the one prior to that. So I'd mentioned him briefly. Our last episode was actually with Proto Holograms founder David Nussbaum, and you guys can check that out if you want on whatever platform you're on. Be sure to follow us on Instagram, Spotify, or wherever you find these podcasts. We're also on YouTube as well. But going back to the episode before last, so I had briefly mentioned that CZ was awaiting sentencing. And so he's been sentenced, and now I believe he's serving his sentence and will be for the next 4 months or so. And this is from the U.S. Department of Justice. So he'll be in the feds, I'm assuming, more than likely segregated. But I think it opens up the conversation because I think there's a lot of people who are ignorant in the crypto space who think that by this guy going to jail, because this is now the second crypto founder going to jail in the last year. You've got Sam Bankman-Fried. I believe that's his name. Sam Bankman-Fried or Sam Bankman-Fried, I believe. Anyways, crook, scam artist. Basically operated a crypto exchange, and now they've been found that they're going to be able to repay most customers. I don't really know exactly what he had done with most of the money, but people who've been defrauded, I guess, for the most part, will be made whole, or that's the hope, at least. I know they have outstanding creditors, so we'll see. But this is big news in 2024, in May now, mid-May. And I think people have this idea, and this is my own personal opinion. Once again, do not take anything I say as financial advice or as investing advice. This is just merely education and hopefully a starting point for you guys on your journey. But personally, as someone that thinks the crypto space needs compliance, and as is full disclosure, I am working on mechanisms, specifically Banks Coin, which will allow for compliance within the crypto space, specifically for these type of things, right? Because you have people who go into this space specifically trying to defraud people and operate these shady exchanges or whatever. And then sure, the DOJ or whoever puts some pressure on them and they might go to jail for a little bit and they might pay, a little bit of a fine. But these guys have already enriched themselves. And then just like CZ, he stepped down or is forced to step down. But the guy who is now operating Binance was, I believe, his CTO or COO. I'd have to look into it, and I will, his specific role. But I find it very hard to believe that the CEO of a company is going to be able to operate and do things illegally. And we're talking about laundering money in Iran type of things to the tune of about $1 billion. And your COO or CTO or whoever is unaware of these things, especially when you're operating a platform. And it's been proven that they were aware because there's internal memos talking about these things, and where employees in Binance had reached out to suspected terrorists and money launderers and things, and essentially told them, your monies are suspicious according to know your customer mechanisms, KYC mechanisms. So I thought that was worth a brief update. this won't be a full 20-minute long episode. Typically, I try to keep them 20 minutes or less, but you also did just get a 1 hour long Founder Series episode with me and David, and you're going to get a lot more as this season continues on. And I apologize for those of you who are followers of the podcast. I've taken a brief break and gone on vacation for a week. I'm supposed to be in a festival or watching a festival, but the festival got canceled. It was down in Las Vegas, Nevada, but it is what it is. That's on the event organizers, but huge event. The Lovers and Friends Festival is supposed to be something like 65 to 85,000 people, but that's neither here nor there. What I am here to talk to you guys about is compliance mechanisms and the need for something in the crypto space. I believe I have the solution, and I'm working on bringing it into the market. And regardless of what I do, I believe this is just the starting point for this, right? Because if there isn't something done, you're going to see this over and over and over again, which is with varying degrees of elaboration. Essentially, more smoke, more mirrors, whatever. And it's not good, because this is people's money. This is something that I believe you're personally driving out customer sentiment out of the market, right? Like, you're getting all these people who are continuously defrauded to eventually give up on crypto. And then you'll have only large institutions probably come in and scoop these things up. And I hope that's not the case. I hope these large institutions would understand too that that's not a good thing for the market. I believe, like every ecosystem works better, and especially the ecosystem of the Web3 and crypto space, that it be in harmony. And part of the lack of harmony in this space is a lack of compliance, in my opinion. So we will deep dive that potentially further as the seasons go on and as these episodes go on. But it's something that I wanted you all to be aware of that. And be aware too that Binance is still the largest crypto exchange out there in the world right now. And I believe it's not allowed in the US, but it is something that, or allowed to be used by consumers in the US. But make no mistake, there is a lot of money on this exchange, and it's something that personally I don't think it would be smart of you to keep your money on those exchanges. I don't think that it would be prudent, especially for US consumers. And if it's something that you're thinking about using something else, look into different exchanges. I won't list them, but if you do your own research, you can find them. But I would recommend steering very, very far clear of Binance, because I don't think this is the first time that we're going to hear from them or hear of them in the news, or of them doing shady things. And at least for my American audience, I'm sure none of you want to fund terrorism, especially terrorism that may eventually destroy the United States of America, especially with something so brilliant as blockchain. And I think part of this too is a lot of people don't understand blockchain, and they think, maybe it's just a new system of finance, but it's really a new computing platform, and something that's going to allow us as human beings to move forward into the future. And it is something that I believe you would be wise to educate yourself on. And we, as the honest or transparent, I guess it's a better way to put it, crypto investor, right? Or essentially people who at the stage that it's in now, I would consider its incubation, those who believe in it or believe in its utility, we would be wise to find ways to bring the market into compliance. And I think that would include working with entities like the DTCC and the SEC and the Treasury and different things to a degree. But I don't think it's something that these things should be unchecked. And I don't think that especially cryptocurrency should fall into categorization as a security, which I'm sure the SEC would like to do. And it's not because I have anything against the SEC. I just don't think that they're equipped to handle the regulation or compliance of cryptos, and they're not securities. I mean, you can clearly look up the definitions. This is not my opinion. It's just as far as I can tell, and why, beyond the fact that Bitcoin at least has an anonymous founder and creator so far. But part of the reason why it's unable to be brought at least into regulation is because the traditional means that the SEC regulation or compliance, if you will, is the SEC is trying to use these very like large overarching definitions that don't fit crypto or anything within Web3. And I think there needs to be a new entity that understands it, looks towards the future of what Web3 and crypto is, and uses some of the same mechanisms to ensure the safety of the end user. And I don't necessarily know that the SEC does it in the current market that they regulate and try to have compliance with, let alone could do it stepping into these new markets. I don't think they're designed for it. So, or at least their processes aren't. And they're a very powerful organization. And I do believe that there are foundational blocks within traditional finance that the SEC gets right. There's things they do well and things that the market needs them to do. And it's good that they're there. But I don't think it's their job, nor are they equipped to handle that. You know, I think it's like the same as asking the IRS to handle the job of Border Patrol, right? So I think there needs to be something new. I think it needs to go a little bit further. I think we're moving in that direction. Personally, the company that I have, Bankscoin and the bank digital asset, or excuse me, the bank's digital assets. So that will be explored further down the line, and when I have actionable news for you guys as my audience, I'll deep dive further into that. But for now, please be aware. And if you have any thoughts or questions or concerns, please leave a comment below in whatever download streaming platform that you're watching this on, whether it be YouTube or Pandora or Spotify or Apple Podcasts or whatever. And if you would, please follow us at the Millionaire Millennial Podcast. I believe that's on Instagram, or follow me, stackbanks.official. Both those pages have link trees that connect to everything, to whatever platform you're following us on or would like to follow us on or consume this content on. So we appreciate it. Please be great and keep listening.